Spiffy. Ta-da-da! Shield grilled cave scallop, ducal guard style.
Oh, nice. These are the scallops you collected earlier, right?
Fresh scallops are the best.
And I love the miso butter sauce.
The bed of green onions and bean sprouts really works too. The juice from the scallops soaks into the greens, turning them into a refreshing seafood salad. Like an undersea garden.
By the way, did you say shield grilled?
Yeah, instead of a hot plate, I used this shield here to grill them.
Wow, that's awfully extravagant.
I read that the soldiers in the field would use their shields to grill meat and their helmets to boil potatoes.
How resourceful. I'll have to remember that the next time I'm in the woods without a frying pan. You make a lot of grilled food, Idia. Is that popular among the ducal guard?
Sure is. Hearty battlefield fare, fit for heroes. That's always been their motto.
A feast fit for heroes is right.
The Knights of the Ducal Guard have always been like that. Big, strong warriors with even bigger hearts.
It sounds like a proud tradition.
Just like the Sky Knights when I first joined them, I guess.
It must have been a real honor. Is that where you learned to cook ducal guard cuisine?
The Eternian 4th Guard Unit, the Sky Knights, was once part of the Ducal Guard. Its commander was none other than Sir Argent Heinkel. This was his shield, passed down from captain to captain.
Oh, so that's the shield you used to... Wait... You used a priceless heirloom to grill scallops?
Darn right. Just have to rinse it off and it'll be good as new. It's what Heinkel would have done.
A meal fit for heroes? More like a meal fit for madmen? What if you were ambushed while you were cooking?
Well, that's why they outlawed deep frying, you know.
Yeah, it'd be like a fire shield, except you'd be the one getting burned.
As commander of the Ducal Guard, Heinkel was sworn to serve Father night and day. Father's the one who taught him how to cook on the battlefield.
So the Templar taught him, and you've inherited their legacy. I suppose that's the Ducal Guard way.
Exactly.
Wait, so all those dishes with way too much sugar and your culinary experiments, they were inherited from the Ducal Guard too?
Huh? What is it?
This mithril shield, I've been holding onto it for my collection. It's the Pope Anya's Ascension Limited Commemorative Edition.
Oh, so that's why it was polished all spiffy. It made the cooking a breeze, I'll tell ya.
But my shield, it's all covered in soot and miso butter.
Hey, guess what, everyone? I've got another special treat for you. Check it out. Scallop soup in a helmet. Ducal Guard style.
Oh no, you didn't.
I sure did. I used the shiniest, best-kept helmet I could find. Ooh, look at it sparkle.
But, that's my Legion helmet. That was my prize for qualifying at the Arena Regionals of the World Fighting Spirit Championships.
You know, it's good that you take care of your things. But the most wasteful thing of all is not to use them.
Hail, Idia. What brings you back to Eisenberg?
The shield bearers fought the sword bearers by building unbreakable defenses. So, is it better to rule a nation by the shield? In these past few years, you've faced a coup d'etat, civil war, and relentless attacks by the Empire. And yet, under your command, the shield bearers held strong and repelled every threat. Commander Goodman, I would hear from you how a ruler might best defend his nation.
A weighty question indeed. I take it you're preparing to follow in your father's footsteps. Very well. Compared to the Duchy of Eternia, ours is a humble nation. But I will offer what advice I can. The defense of a country relies solely on the soundness and strength of its shield. No matter how many times it is struck, no matter how powerful the blows that rain down, it must not bend or buckle. It must absorb all harm so that no injury, no pain befalls the bearer. Now, this is how I built our shield. First, I drew a sharp line between the soldiery and citizenry. It is the former's duty to defend the latter. I saw to it that my men were provided with the strongest armor and stoutest shields, enough to protect them completely. So equipped, they could absorb every attack for as long as it took to exhaust our foes and sap them of the will to fight. This was the doctrine of the shield bearers, and now that of the Eisenberg army. Of course, some argue that our approach is too rigid, too simplistic. Why not put greater focus on offensive power or mobility? I myself once entertained such ideas, and I was not the first shield bearer commander to do so. Were we to divert more of our forces to the offensive, we could weaken the enemy's assault, relieving the burden of defense. But doing so would thin our defensive line, and might even afford the enemy a way to break through. We have one duty, and one alone, to protect the citizens of Eisenberg. An approach that would put them at risk even were it to improve our efficiency, is not an approach I am willing to take.
And even with the nation united, you will continue to mold the Eisenberg army into a defensive force?
For as long as war troubles this world and peace eludes us, I will. A world without war is hard to imagine. I think we will always have need of a strong defense. It is my sworn duty to protect the people. I, for one, shall never lay down my shield.
So should I choose the shield?
You return, my friends. A welcome sight. What brings you back to the home of the Sagitta?
The SP cannon has the power to annihilate any foe. If a strong sword is truly needed to rule a people, the Sagitta would know. I would seek your wisdom, Elder.
And I would hope that I have the wisdom you seek, my child.
You have in your village a super weapon capable of blasting balls clear out of the sky.
Yes, I suppose we do.
Well, I was just wondering, do you think you could still lead your people without that power?
So you would follow in your father's illustrious footsteps, Idia Lee. I am a humble elder of a sleepy hamlet in the clouds. I fear my advice would have little value to one who would rule a great nation. But I will answer you. Yes, the SP cannon is a weapon with the power to destroy our mortal foe. Such power might seem excessive and unbefitting our small mountain village. And yet there are Baals everywhere, and they threaten not just our people, but all who live in this world. Left unchecked, these fiends would destroy humanity, and we have the power to stop them. Whether this power is essential to govern my people, I cannot say, but it is a power that I would be a fool to relinquish.
But what if someone tried to use this great power for evil? What then?
This is, of course, a danger. Why, even used in good faith, an artifact of such power can have unforeseen and terrible consequences. But if we rejected this power out of fear, then what would happen to this world? Our foes would still be there, and who would hold them in check? When confronted with an unrelenting foe, what responsible leader would not take weapon in hand and destroy them? Your mind hears my words, yet your heart remains unconvinced.
No, it's not that. It's just...
It is all right, child. It is good to doubt. The question of how best to rule a nation is one with no easy answer.
maybe the sword is the answer. Father.
It is said that the mystic thread used to weave the garb of the Vestals comes from this cave. But it is more than that to me. This is where your mother and I were once sheltered by the sage of Yoyana. It is the place where we were blessed with a strong, beautiful daughter. And the place where I made my resolve to take back this nation and rule it by my own ideals. Even seeing the faces of the multitudes who had rallied to our cause, our hearts still wavered. Dare we pitch our outnumbered forces against a great religious order with the power of the crystals at their command? Dare we did. We resolved to overthrow the orthodoxy, capture the Earth Crystal, and seize the throne. But how would we rule this new nation we would forge? How would we lead the world? After 3 days and 3 nights of heated debate, on the morning of the 4th day, I mustered my army.
So this is where it all happened.
I see you have found the Grand Marshal's sword and shield, and yet you have equipped neither. Tell me, Idia, is this how you would answer me?
That's right. This is my answer.
Explain yourself.
As long as a nation exists, it will have enemies, whether or not it seeks them out. A ruler must have the power to fell those who would threaten the people's survival. This is why I sought the Grand Marshal's sword. And every nation has people within its borders, a citizenry that it must protect. To keep its subjects from harm, a ruler must carry a strong, sturdy shield. So, I sought out the Grand Marshal's shield. But when I took these 2 great relics, sword and shield, into hand, I suddenly felt afraid.
You wielded a mighty sword and a stout shield, yet grew fearful. Intriguing.
I thought back to what I had seen in my travels across the realm, and to what I had read in the histories. Stories of men who claimed power to slay their foes, but who forgot the ones they loved, and whose hearts grew cold. Men who gained the power to protect people, but then lost sight of themselves, and grew vain, proud, and complacent. They put too much faith in the power they'd achieved. It became all-consuming. It was all they cared about. That was what I was afraid of.
Justice must be supported by might and authority. But when it is delivered at the point of a sword, it is not but coercion. You are right to fear power. Yes, even power sought in pursuit of justice is not immune from corruption. A stout shield is needed to protect the people in times of war. Yet the true goal should be a world with no need for shields. The noble course is to believe in the ideal. Find that stout shield, yes, but do not bear it. The little bird who left our nest has returned on the strength of her own wings. Along the way you were lost, injured and betrayed. You knew despair and cried in anguish.
We were confused. We doubted everything. We closed our eyes and ears to the world around us.
But you overcame the pain. You raised your head and did not shirk from the truth. You took your troubles in stride.
I met new comrades. I knew the warmth of friendship. I was emboldened. I listened. I learned just how much I still had to learn. I felt the love of my master, my friends, my family, and my father, who I always looked up to and strove to follow.
Your journey is over, my daughter. But you have one more trial to face, together with the friends who stand beside you. I am Brave Lee, Grand Marshal of Eternia. This is your final trial. I shall spare no effort, offer no mercy. Begin! Well fought. But your trial has only begun. Well struck, but I will not fall so easily. You have grown strong, my daughter. How strange. For the first time in my life, I feel no regret or frustration in defeat. Perhaps this is what I had hoped for all along.
Father.
It is nothing. For being told I might never wield a sword again, this body served me surprisingly well. Now, you must take this. This is the stave of the Grand Marshal of Eternia. He, nay, she who bears it, holds full authority to rule the duchy.
Rule Eternia? Me?
Yes. You have shown that you possess the strength to cut down your foes, the strength to protect your people, and most of all, the wisdom to know that though you possess both, you need not use either. Go forth and rule in wisdom, Grand Marshal YEW. The future of Eternia, nay, of the world itself, is in your hands.
Yes, Father.
Why, Idia.
Mother? What's going on?
Your father and I have decided to move out here to the woods.
Seriously? But isn't this the Wise One's place?
It certainly is. Or was. From what we've heard, he hasn't been around here in quite some time.
I've been thinking of renaming the place Brave Lee's Needleworks.
And Sage Ileana is okay with this?
Don't worry, dear. The old sage could never get angry at me. But listen, Idia, I'd like you to have a word with your father.
About what?
His armor. Even though we're retired and living here in the woods, he refuses to take it off.
I have grown accustomed to the proper ballast it provides. If I took it off, the next stiff breeze might carry me clear into the sky. I think I'll stay as I am for now.
The Full Metal Seamster, huh? That's gotta be a first.
Sir, the delivery you asked for.
Alternus, I've been waiting for you.
Fabric and thread just as you asked. If you exhaust your supply, simply say the word and I shall procure more.
Thank you, Alternus. You're always so helpful.
And what of the other items I requested?
I have brought them, sir, but are these truly what you were looking for?
Patchwork for apprentices. 100 embroidery patterns for spring and summer. Yes, these are perfect.
You're really serious about this needlework stuff, huh?
Of course. Have you ever known your father not to be serious? For my first project, I believe I shall make you a quilted vest. Then again, Noble Tsuna hinted that he wanted a new tea cozy, and I promised to knit Alternus a woolen scarf.
Before that, the armor.
Dinner is served.
Finally! I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
It's so tender.
This is divine. It's like a little symphony playing in my mouth with every bite. You simply must tell me, Tiz, what is this masterpiece?
Meat?
Hey, come on, Tiz. Magnolia is asking a serious question.
Sorry. How about roasted wild boar with blueberry sauce? The boar shoulder Carl gave us has really aged well.
What's the sweet and sour flavor?
That's blueberry jam. We had some in the stores, so I used it as a rub for the roast.
Oh, right, the stuff I bought but never used.
And what's this on the side? This warm risotto-like stuff.
Rice, mostly.
Tiz, you're doing it again.
Oh, sorry. How about, buttered rice porridge with mushrooms and wild vegetables? I picked a bunch of wild mushrooms and roots when we stopped for lunch the other day. I figured they'd go well with the buttered rice left over from yesterday.
Buttered rice? From yesterday?
That's right. I used the leftovers from Magnolia's dinner.
Tell me, Tiz, do you have a philosophy de la cuisine?
Huh? Philo what?
A policy. Towards cooking, I mean. Do you have a particular approach? For example, you puts lots of effort into presentation.
I do?
But everything is loaded with garlic, and he sticks to simple dressings like ketchup and brown sauce.
She's calling you a one-note cook.
What? Come on, Magnolia. Pull some punches, would you?
Idia, meanwhile, likes the extremes. Sweet things are super sweet. Spicy dishes get a quadruple dose of pepper.
Yep, that's me. Food with a punch.
She's not afraid to explore and experiment, which often results in total disasters.
That sounds familiar. Remember her charcoal on the half-shell? And the legendary soup of many colors?
Murgurgur. Look, you have to try new things if you want to improve as a cook.
You were trying to improve?
But I have to say, there's a certain je ne sais quoi about Tiz's food. It's tasty without being flashy, and it has real depth. It makes me wonder, just what is his philosophy? Where did he learn to cook?
I'm pretty sure I don't have a philosophy, and no one ever taught me, per se. I mean, I'm not a gourmet like Idia and you. I don't know about fancy ingredients and dishes.
There must be something. Come on, don't be coy.
Well, one thing I do believe in is not wasting food. Does that count? Like today, I used the boar meat we got and that extra blueberry jam for the roast. Then I had the idea to use up the leftovers from last night's dinner. We just happened to have the mushrooms and wild plants on hand to dress it up.
Magnifique! Tiz, I think you have a wonderful approach to cuisine.
It's nothing special. I just hate to see good food go to waste.
Now that I think about it, you've never made a bad meal. Your dinners are always just right.
Well, I'm not as adventurous as you. I stick with what I know, so I don't mess up all the time.
Well, excuse me for trying to spice things up from time to time.
Sorry. Oh, that reminds me. I made a totally unadventurous dessert, too. Sweet roasted chestnuts.
What? Why didn't you say so earlier? Bring it out already! You really are the best. Sir,